Okay, so I'm just gonna address something really fast. I'm not gonna put no intro on this video. I'm not gonna do nothing to make it cute. Speaking of cute, y'all see my goatee came in, right? I know it's sexy. This little zit that's coming in on my face, though, I don't know if I can see it. That's not sexy at all. But we're gonna fix that right up because I got this little overnight mask that I can put on, and this little dab around that little spot, and it's gone. Glory to God. You know, just bless His name. It'll be gone by the morning. I'm gonna briefly address something because I don't usually let things on the internet bother me. I really don't. I try my best not to even let it get under my skin enough to bother me. I usually just let it roll right off. You know what I'm saying? Um, but this thing, it not even that it was a big subject or something that really pissed me off at first because it really didn't. But what it was, I hate ignorance and I hate people who are what's the word? Consistently ignorant and they try to prove a point. Have you ever had somebody on Twitter, on Facebook, especially if you're a vlogger and you make videos and you have that one consistent viewer that comes back all the time, comments your stuff, gives you hella views, but no matter what you say, they just do not agree with it and they make it known that they don't agree with it. But yet they're subscribed to you or yet they watch your videos constantly. So, I mean, faithfully always on it, but they just never agree with anything you say. Now, I have one of those, but this one is on Twitter. Now, mind you, she does not follow me. What happened was I recently subscribed to someone called I Respect Women. Phenomenal young man. Kudos to him. I don't even think he has a YouTube, but go follow him. I'll have his information about him. Y'all can go and check him out because he's bomb.com. Um, but last night we was going, back and forth talking about different things. You know what I'm saying? Just making random posts. Wisdom. Y'all know I'm big with the wisdom. Anybody who has me as a friend on Facebook, anybody who follows me on Twitter, y'all know I'm big on little encouraging, insightful things I just post randomly. And y'all also know I'm very messy, so I may switch it up at times. But for the most part, I'm very together, and I try to encourage people who follow me because a lot of people need that. So I'm big for that. That's what I'm known for. I think he was tweeting one thing. I responded to it with another, in very encouraging, very wise uh, um, thought in response to what he posted, and he retweeted it. Retweeted it. Wow, Jesus! He retweeted it, and what happened was mad people just like started following me out of nowhere because they loved it. And shout out to y'all. For those who are not following me on Twitter, go over and do that and spread the word and get your friends to follow and all that other good stuff. Because God is just that good. I don't even know how that ties into what I just said, but he, all the time, glory. He retweeted, and then other people must have liked what I said because mad people started retweeting, and then soon after that came the follows from a lot of people. Some were from him, some were just random people that had saw my retweet from other people's retweet. So what happened was I he was talking about a young lady who had a naked picture of her as her TwitCon. Now, anybody who's not on Twitter who's ignorant to this, a TwitCon is your Twitter picture. That's the main picture that's posted when you go on your Twitter page. And he said something about women respecting themselves and made a comment about why would they put something like that up, but yet you know they want to be seen in a different way. So I responded to him and I said, and I'm gonna quote, I'm gonna try to read along, and everything. I said something to the extent of, "Why do women portray themselves as a sexual product, yet demand respect? Respect for oneself comes first, right?" Now, hence the title, "Respect Yourself," right? So, this woman took half of what I said after seeing it retweeted X amount of times, and she wrote me back. And when she replied, she wrote at the end of it, she said, Is it not possible to respect sexual products? Why not?" So I responded back to this lady, and I said, not at all. I said, but to demand respect or demanding respect and receiving because it was given naturally or earned is two different things. Okay, to demand it, okay, is one thing, but to receive it just because people naturally respect you is two different things. So she responded back and she said, true, but why can he not respect you if you offer only your body? Now, right there, I should have caught the red flag right there. That's my mistake, okay? But I didn't catch it, okay, right away. I was just trying to prove my point, so I just kept on going. And I said, well, you can't expect a man to respect your mind, heart, and soul when all you give him is your body. And then she says, sigh. Then it's not the woman's fault. How you know they do not respect themselves just because they do not wear a lot of clothes? What do you mean? Really? Um, okay, enough said. I responded to her, I said, well, 9 out of 10 of the boys that are attracted to these women are immature and find no reason to. I said they have no respect for themselves. And of course, we all know that if you don't respect yourself, you can't possibly find it important to respect another. So she said a whole lot of other stuff in between, and I said, first of all, when you respect yourself, you take care of yourself, okay? And you carry yourself in a way that demands respect without having to say it. I also said not wearing a lot of clothes and putting up a completely naked picture of yourself as your TwitCon is a totally different story. It's two different things, okay? Showing cleavage, wearing a skirt that's a little bit too high up above the knee or something like that is totally different between having a totally naked picture of yourself at your TwitCon. It's totally different. Okay, I can see myself respecting naturally, just being a respectful person, finding it easier to respect someone when they are at least clothed than if I were to just see nothing but their body on first glance. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I wouldn't respect the person at all, because you have to be cordial and you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. You just can't judge them immediately when you see them, when you don't know them, just because they look different or they're doing something that's outrageous to you. But you cannot tell me that you don't find it odd that the first thing you see about a person when you meet them is the fact that they're naked in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And feel like you can treat them as a respectable person. You can't do that. I'm sorry. There's no way that you can tell me that there's nothing wrong with a young girl, and this girl was at least 18, okay, or probably at most, okay, 18 years old, and she's completely naked all over Twitter, and here she is obviously demanding some type of approval or respect from these guys. But it's like, how can you ask a guy to do that? Because there's a difference between a man and a boy. Okay, and obviously she's not trying to get a real man's attention. She's trying to get a boy's attention, because a boy's gonna run after that because of the fact that she's naked, and that's all he's gonna want from her. You know what I'm saying? Because she's not giving him any reason to look deeper than that. So at this point, I took it upon myself to go to her page, and when I went over and looked at her page, not only did I see that she's a woman at least in her mid to late 30s. Okay, number one. Um, and I also noticed, you know how you have, for those who are on Twitter, you know that underneath your name you can have a little message explaining who you are and what you're about. And she says, I am planning next year's B-Day sex early. Please text your availability. Start time noon. When I saw that, the whole game switched up for me, because I tweeted after seeing that. I said, no wonder why she's not receiving what I'm saying. She's borderline floozy herself. Why am I preaching to the bishop? Tell me why. I might as well be preaching to the bishop herself, because there's no way that she's gonna get what I'm trying to say to her when she's a hoe herself. She tried it a couple other times, and then she says, again, well, I fail to see how nakedness equates to lack of self-respect. You have to explain that. And I said, well, honey, it's not enough space for that, okay? But if you don't see the problem with young girls showing their body on here, on Twitter and elsewhere, then I don't know what to tell you. She said, yep, just as I thought. No explanation possible. Men are such huge hypocrites. Excuse me, what? Say what now? Men are such huge hypocrites. Why am I a hypocrite now? Why am I a hypocrite now? And I mean, okay, whatever. So when she said that, I left it alone, and then I tweeted her later on. I said, you know what? That is so true, but to God be the glory, because I am not a part of that category. And I put a smiley face at the end. And as far as I'm concerned, she could just go on and carry on and have a blessed day. And that will be that. Now, before I even get into the reading portion of this video because I didn't even begin to read her yet. Okay, but tell me this ain't the best juice you ever had. See, this is the best kiwi strawberry. It's loaded with sugar. Let me just make that clear. But it's only 100 calories. Um, this is awesome. Now I'm not one for endorsement, but honey lamb, this stuff right here is on the money. Like seriously, they can serve this at my wedding. Like nothing. They don't need wine. They don't need anything. Just this. Okay. And whoever don't like it, it just will be thirsty because this is all going to be, flowing. This is it. Tropical Fantasy Kiwi Strawberry Juice, and this is you can only get these in the Mexican stores from what I see. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the only place you find this is this little Puerto Rican and Mexican stores at the corner of every corner. Now I live borderline Stratford and Bridgeport, okay? So you want a corner store in Stratford, you gotta walk a block or two. But yeah, they bougie up here. You can go to any little corner store and you can get this. And I tell you, if this ain't the best juice you ever had in your life, and it's not the only flavor, but ooh, my lord. Let me begin to read now because I'm upset. Okay. Now listen. I'm not one for Twitter beef. I'm not one for YouTube beefery. I'm not one to go back and forth with you about anything to prove a point. And I did this. I don't even know why I got into this particular, exchange of words or tweets. I don't even know how I got into it, but all I know is this. And this is to all my young ladies, okay? And young men. Understand this. Now y'all heard heard me read the tweets and the conversation that went back and forth. This woman, even after all that I said, cannot find a reason as to why it was inappropriate for a young lady to be completely naked on the internet. Twitter of all places. And she could not find a reason as to why. Because of this young lady's actions, why she could not be considered a respectable young lady. And I hope and pray that all of you who are watching this video have enough common sense to know the reason as to why. But here's where I'm coming from. Like I said, to have respect or to gain respect from others, you have to, number one, respect yourself. Just like to receive love, you have to love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to feel any love. It can be so much love around you, but you will never even know it because you don't love yourself. Okay? So what is happening is these young men or these young boys are attracted to physical things, physical features, wherever they can get. And when it comes down to a young woman putting it all out there, that's all they're ever gonna see. Okay, these young men are going to look for wherever they can get their hands on, and if it's right there for them, of course they're gonna grab it, because a man is gonna be a man. Okay, now check it out. If you feel like getting completely naked or even half naked is going to make you respectable enough, you want the kind of man that's going to open doors for you. Okay, lay down his coat on a rain puddle. You know what I'm saying? Something romantic like that. Some old movie foolishness. You want a man to do all this for you, but yet and still you got your twat all over the internet. Okay, proud about it. I mean, there's no shame in your game. And yet and still you want somebody to treat you like royalty? I'm sorry. And not saying that women aren't deserving of that respect. All women are deserving. All men, everybody deserves respect in this life. Okay? But to get respect is to earn it. And a part of gaining respect from other people, not approval, but to gain respect, which everyone deserves, you have to carry yourself in such a way that would demand it without you even have to verbally say it to anybody. You should not have to ask somebody for respect. You should carry yourself in a way that would automatically demand it. Okay? When I walk out this door, my head is held high. I may look a hot mess. Well, no, because I don't never look a hot mess. I'm sorry. Okay? If I'm going out this door, I'm going to look decent enough to be presentable. Okay? Mm-mm. But I'm just saying. Just say for me, it's a bad day for me personally, and I know it. But I try my best to look decent, okay? And I walk out of the house. I'm gonna walk around like I got on Gucci, Coochie, Louis Vuitton. I mean, I'm gonna dress to impress, at least in my mind, okay? And I could have some old stinking old FUBU on. I could have some South Pole, something I got at Walmart. But in my mind, I'm working what I got on as if I got it from the Hamptons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you can't tell me at that point in time that I'm at the flyest thing walking up and down the street, because in my mental and the confidence that I built up for Kevin has brought me to a point to where I'm not worried about other people, what they think.
Don't be a hoe. Don't be willing to give it up so quickly.